Konbanwa, good evening NPCs, it is I, Loki the Mad Titan, and welcome back to the Skyrim modded series, If. Interesting, immersive, and forgotten. I'm going to have to do a little bit of explaining and catching up, because this is not where we left off, although it's not far away from where we left off. First thing you might say is, hey Loki, I watched the last episode, and what happened at the end there, man? Well, the power went out. That's what happened at the end there. So I thought I had lost the episode, but I was able to recover it. I'll talk about that more, because if you Google that, excuse me, off to a stellar start with the coughing. My apologies. If you Google it will tell you if you're using OBS and the power goes out while you're recording, you boned. You lost it. Nothing you can do about it. But again, I'll go into detail more about that. That's a lie, a big fat lie, and that you can fix it. So, what happened? And why is this episode gonna be a little weird? This episode's gonna be a little weird because I already recorded this episode. Yep. So I think this series is cursed. So nothing in relation to what happened at the end of the previous episode. This is completely unrelated. So I started recording this episode a couple days ago, and actually took a couple days off because I was just mentally done with the problems with this series. And this just again, they're all different. It's not the same problem that keeps happening, and I don't know why. So recording an episode and the game freezes. Okay, I mean, it happens. It's a Bethesda game. It froze. I couldn't get out of the freeze. I spent like 45 minutes because I'm very stubborn and patient trying to get out of the freeze. And we're gonna actually start going somewhere while I'm talking. Got out of the freeze. Everything seemed okay. OBS was still open. In fact, it gave me a message and was like, OBS is still you're recording.
What was that?
Wait, what? What's happening? Why am I...
Give up while you still can!
Does anybody know why I'm being attacked right now? Does anybody know why I'm being attacked right now? Okay. What in the world was that about? Did I do something? I'm so confused. This is going to be such a problem if they're still upset with me. And I don't know why they're upset with me. They are hostile towards me. Why in the world are they hostile towards me?
When I strike you...
Okay. Well, interestingly enough, this is not how we left when I was playing before. So I have no idea why they're hostile towards me. Oh, this is just getting weirder. I'm still trying to explain a previous problem after a previous problem, and now, like, he's not hostile to me right now.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
So, and he's not hostile to me right now.
What is it?
So, okay. I don't know. Holy Jesus. We're gonna just fast travel to Dawnstar, and I'll keep rambling with my promise. So anyway, I came back in. OBS seemed like it was working fine. It was paused because I had paused it when it froze. So I loaded back in and unpaused it and finished my entire hour and 45-minute video. And it came out. And when I came out, there was an OBS error. It had never made a noise. The OBS error didn't pop over. It popped under. me playing, so I had no idea that it had aired, and it's, you know, for all intents and purposes, it looks like it aired immediately. Yeah, immediately as I was recording, just started recording again. So basically, I lost everything. I couldn't even say lost everything. I didn't actually ever record anything.
Is that
anything.
Magic?
Divine
Carefully,
sakes,
please.
Scald. Who do you
Go
think we're
fiddling
threatening?
I don't
with
care.
any
Unless you're
officer
here
around
to solve this
Not
nightmare
soldiers,
problem,
no.
I don't need.
Just give me my...
Excellent. You've done us a great service.
I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Here is your reward.
Thanks. Just give me my bounty. I don't care about anything
Don't
else.
bother me again unless
We must fight. We
See
will.
ya.
And you will lead us to victory.
Yeah,
as you
okay.
always have.
Ironbreaker mine is 3 times
yeah.
the worth of that Quicksilver
Okay.
mine.
I don't
and
care
its
about any of
fathead owner.
So I've done this. I've done this entire episode. So it's so weird. Like I don't even know if I can remember everything that I did. So we're gonna kind of just go through the motions for the first part. We had gone over and talked. We found an interesting NPC on the ship, so we will do that again. I talked about that Mrs. Foyce was kind enough to give me a list of the interesting NPCs in Riften, and I still missed, like, I don't know, like 4 of them. So they're mainly in the Helga's, the hell does she call it? Longhouse, her little hotel.
No lollygagging.
So we're, excuse me. So we're gonna go. What? All right.
You like me, eh? Don't fancy those clunky two-handed
Alright,
weapons.
he's doing magic. So I just randomly come on here because I couldn't remember who anybody was, and so this is the captain. He's going to give us a quest for something, which honestly, I guess I'll grab it. Real
Everyone
quick.
thinks I'm too young to be a ship's captain, but I'm going to prove them wrong.
You're the ship captain?
By inheritance, as my men are fond of saying. Can't blame them. My mother ran the Sea Squall as strictly as she ran the house. I've been trying to find new areas of business, trying to win the sailors' respect, but I keep having problems. Take the last trade we did. Some fine-cut void salts from the College of Winterhold. Plenty of coin if you know who to sell it to.
What happened to the salts?
Sailors are what happened to them. They got drunk and ended up losing the merchandise in some cave. If you're not afraid of a little exploring, I'll pay good gold to get those salts. All right, then.
All right, now I'm sneezing. I don't know. So this dude, Frick, he's new. Frickin' Frack, you know? This guy doesn't want to talk.
I plan to spend all the days I got left on the water. It's
I
where
don't like
belong.
taking orders from a boy, but I need the gold.
All right. I normally sneeze once an episode, which is weird. Now I've already sneezed twice. All right, so Frick has a frick ton of dialogue, so I guess we'll try to start chit-chatting with him.
What is it? I take it you think I'm the captain of the Sea Squall. It must be the beard. Hate to disappoint you, but not every person who wears a beard is a rugged leader of men. Some of us are just ruggedly handsome. No, the one you want to talk to is the boy, Captain Leaf Wayfinder.
I already talked to the boy. Well, that beard is worthy of a captain. You are indeed both rugged and handsome. It isn't a man's beard, but strength of bravery that makes a good captain. You call that a beard? I've seen children with thicker coats of hair. I don't know that I necessarily want to flirt with him, so we'll just go with that's a beard worthy of any captain.
That it is. Doesn't require much in the way of combing. Just wake up in the morning, trim their hedges, and the old boy's as smooth as velvet.
What's your secret?
The secret is in the trim. Some Nord men walk around with dead squirrels on their chins because they don't bother to do the maintenance. No, a good beard is more like a house cat. You have to raise it, nurture it, and every now and then pet it. If only I could stick this cat on the litter of rodents Captain Wayfinder calls a beard.
That's a really strange thing to say. Hey baby, want to stroke my beard. And then for some reason you have to exit out of conversation with him.
Time.
And then go back into
You're
conversation.
looking well.
Tell me about the Sea Squall.
Well, the ship's got but one mast, so it's not the fastest vessel and it doesn't handle particularly well either. But she's sturdy and has a hull bigger than a witness's backside. So
Oh,
you know
yeah.
the cargo is going to get there, if not on time.
Good. The Sea of Ghosts can be perilous for any unworthy vessel. Had any trouble with storms and bad weather?
I've yet to see a storm strong enough to capsize her, although one came close when we were off the coast of the Iliac Bay. Wasn't really a storm so much as the waves. They eddied and swayed with no direction, as if the ocean itself were as confused. When the eye hit us, I ran over to the port side and emptied my stomach. It's then that I saw a school of shadowy figures pass under the hull. Dolphins, I thought. Only something was odd about the way their tails lashed under the water, and the curve of their bodies as well, like no fish I know. And their heads, long, wispy, almost like hair. And when it strummed the water, I could almost hear the melody of the ocean in my head.
Could have been Lamia. I don't really know what Lamia are. I just thought mermaids were talking about mermaids. If they're fish, they can be hunted and eaten like the rest. Bah! If that tail gets any taller, it'll strike a moon. But I'm going to choose. We must find these creatures, and if possible, mate with them.
I can't say I haven't thought about it. Although I'm not sure how that would work. I suppose it's no different than mating with an Argonian.
I have some Argonians with me. I have two now, I think. Can't remember. Again, he didn't say anything to imply that he doesn't respect the captain, so I felt like that was an odd thing. What made you choose to be a sailor? Any other stories?
Sure. It happened when I was but a minnow, working on a different boat. I was more stowaway than deckhand. Now you hear stories about men going overboard, getting swept away by a rough wind or going mad from the heat.
What happens to the ones who go overboard?
Most of them get picked up, but some captains will let a man drown. If that happens, there is no way a man can survive, except on this voyage. We found a man, 8 days off the shore, and there he was, clinging to a plank out in the middle of nowhere.
No one could have survived that long. It's possible to survive for 8 days with the right skill set, but unlikely.
Maybe if he was an Argonian, it would have made sense. Only this man was an Imperial, and by all accounts he had nothing more than a cold. He never said so much as a word the rest of the voyage, but he had the crew spooked. It was more than just the circumstances of his arrival. Foolish as I was, I tried to speak with him once. Only the captain himself wrenched me aside and told me to stay away.
Did you ever find out who he was?
Yes and no. It wasn't until we docked at Solitude and the Imperial went on his way that the captain took me aside. He asked me, "Are you blind, boy? Did you not see the dagger? The way that Imperial was dressed?" I was never much one for paying attention, but like a sailor mapping a constellation, I began to connect the stars.
What did you notice about him that was different?
It's not as if the clothes and the dagger hailed from across the ocean, but they were just foreign enough to be strange. "I suppose you know naught of history, boy," the captain said, "but the hilt on his dagger and the style of his tunic are not from this time. Yet, that dagger was as fresh as codling, forged maybe 3 weeks before we left dock, and not a sign of rust."
So, time traveler. What made you choose to be a sailor?
That's a good question. I like the ocean, but I don't love it. I'm not like these salt sniffers who use clams as coin purses and have more barnacles on their crotch than hair.
So why become a sailor if you hate the job?
I guess I chose it because it's the thing I hate the least. And every day I see these miners walk out soaked in sweat, I realise I made the right choice. Although, if I were a miner, I reckon I'd figure out some way to weasel out of working. No point breaking your back for a job with no future.
You could have been a barber. Mining isn't that bad. When you work, the day goes faster. You sound like a cynic. Cynicism is a refuge for the jilted and the joyless. Sailing is just as perilous as mining. I'm surprised you survived this long. Could have been a barber.
Couldn't stomach it. All these children working in with a couple of strands of sewer in their face, asking me to trim their beard. Then you got them old Nords. They got beards so mangy they got a colony of birds roosting inside. Thanks, but no thanks.
I love birds, so I think it would be awesome if I had birds nesting in my beard. I mean, in all for his beard, it's nice, but it's really short. I like my long beard. All right, tell me about the crew.
Ravam is the Dunmer who's always complaining about the captain. In truth, the Southern Elf's lazier than I am, but he has too much pride to let anyone know it. I'm gonna find a new ship, he says. Heh. Where else can a man get paid to lie around the dock all day and hoot at the mining girls?
Are there some nice mining girls? Why do you think Ravam complains then?
When he complains, that's the pride talking. He doesn't like taking orders from a child. He'll get over it.
What if Ravam were to mutiny?
I'd sooner shave my beard than help him. Ravam is prideful and ambitious. A bad mix of ale if you ask me. The first thing he'd want to do is prove he's a real captain, and that'll mean some risky venture out into the sea of ghosts. The sooner he stops caring about what people think, the sooner he'll be able to enjoy the reign of Captain Shorefinder.
Why doesn't Gunther vie to be captain?
The old mariner's got one foot in the trench already, and he ain't the type to make waves. Besides, he thinks the boy is learning. What he means by that is anyone's guess. The boy doesn't even know how to tie his shoes. Can't see how he can hoist a sail.
See, now if I go back and if I go back and say he doesn't seem to respect the captain, it makes more sense. This one's just funny. Admit it. You want to talk about their facial hair?
I do, but wasn't sure if you wanted to hear my critique. Guthrum has one of those wispy moustaches that looks like a whale's fluke. Man needs to act his age and get a beard. That's where I am. Can't say as much of anything, which is probably for the best. Better to not even try than grow one out and look like a fool.
That's enough about the crew.
Fine.
And last but not least, you don't seem to respect Captain Wayfinder.
I don't have to respect the boy to like him. He inherited the ship from his hag-raven of a mother, and it was nothing short of a miracle.
Wait, did you say you like the captain?
I do. I've served under a few captains in my day, and most of them were unruly taskmasters. Fortunately, the boy is as soft as seaweed. Grew up on land with his father, some coin counter for the East Empire Company. So the boy has no experience at sea, and even less with men. He doesn't like raising his voice or telling the crew what to do.
How would his mother have raised him? I take it his mother would not put up with a milk drinker for a son.
Well, if his mother were here, she'd tell him to be assertive, confident. The boy certainly tries to be, and some days he halfway gets there. Only being halfway confident is like being halfway pregnant. All I have to do is complain a bit, and he'll fold faster than a torn sail. It's a good thing, too. The boy's too scared of Ravam, and he doesn't like pushing Guthrum in his old age. That just leaves me.
You're lazy and pathetic. You're taking advantage of the poor lad. Well, the boy does seem green for a captain.
Greener than pond scum, and just as wet behind the ears. The boy needs a bloody chart just to find his crotch.
Can you give me an example?
The other day, he got the lover and the shadow mixed up and nearly sailed us right into a glacier teeming with ice wraiths. I think the divines Guthrum smucked the boy and took the helm. The place was a sudden death trap. I almost would have preferred the captain sail us into oblivion. One of these days he just might.
Boy or not, the captain can replace you if you aren't careful.
That's not likely. It takes stones to strip a man of his livelihood. It's like killing someone, only you have to look them in the eye. It's you, and you alone, has to tell him his children will starve. You have to stand before him, man to man, and tell him he has to sell his wife to a stronghold to spend the rest of her life as some orc love slave. Only the captain wouldn't do that. He wants to be liked. He cares too much. We aren't sailors to him, we're family.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing good ever came out of caring. There is two ways to happiness in this world. One's bitter and cold and comes in a bottle. The other is just learning to be cold.
Apathy can deprive you of both pain and joy. I agree, emotions cloud judgment. Better to stay even keel. Actually, the only emotion a person needs is unrelenting fury. The first time I picked this one, I kind of want to pick this one.
Well, having emotions is like gambling or investing in a shop. Ravam's betting on pride. If he becomes a captain someday, all that bitterness and envy he feels now will pay off. If he doesn't, well, he'll start to resent himself as much as he resents the world.
What about the other sailors?
Guthrum's invested in romance. The old Horker wants one last voyage, and if it doesn't come, it'll only leave him regretful and unfulfilled. Our boss, he's made his wager too. The ship's his mother's, and Captain Thumbsucker, as Ratham likes to call him, is a sentimental boy.
So what's his wager?
He wants to walk the same path as the old wench, and if he fails, no amount of pity will brighten his spirits. On the other hand, if you don't care whether you succeed or fail, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy some cold mead. By admitting you can't win, a man can never lose.
So yeah, he's definitely got some very interesting ideas on things. I'm getting super distracted while talking to him though, because I see the fish and I'm like, I want to get fish, woohoo! Even though it looks like they're all just salmon. Still, I want fish. Are there any fish in here that aren't salmon? No, they're all salmon. All right. Meanwhile, all my people run around crazy because they're like, oh my god, he's in the water. All right, who are you?
Quicksilver Mine is the best mine in Dawnstar.
Yeah.
And you can tell those Ironbreaker miners I said so.
Okay. I think I went to this house over here. Nope. No, I did not. See, it's funny because I'm totally going to miss things that I did because I can't remember everything that I did. Let me look at it. Let me look at the local map. Okay, I think I remember what I did. So I'm so like disjointed with this episode. I wanted to jump in and actually do something so that way it's just not me rambling for a while. So you got the gist of what happened at the end of the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago, or no, it is the previous episode. So you get, my mind is all messed up. But what we've been mainly working on is working off the miscellaneous quest tree and trying to, oh my god, get rid of all the ones here. So we're not doing that. Still, why was everybody hostile with me was I trespassing? Was that I'm so confused why they were hostile with me. Which is ironic because that's one of the things that we're supposed to do is go talk to him. So let's return to the Qajar. I don't remember who Qajar is or why we're returning to him, which is pretty funny because I definitely did that in that lost episode, and I still don't remember who he is. I'll be like, as soon as we go there, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember now, but like literally at this exact moment, I had no idea. Like, where are we going? Where's the arrow to tell me? Alright, so he is at the docks. I remember now. He's at the docks, which somehow, even though we talked to that interesting NPC at the docks, we somehow still never detected the docks. Because that makes sense, right? I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I'm also confused about my level. I'm level 45, and there's that little tiny sliver of XP. And as we play through this episode, see if you notice the same thing that I noticed, that it's not going to move. It's going to stay just a sliver of XP. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm not gaining a lot of XP, or because I am already a decently high level. I don't feel like I'm super high. Come on. Just get up there. Alright. Let's try to take a shortcut to get to the dock. And let's actually make sure that we detect the dock this time. There we go. And it's just this dude over here. Hello.
Keep that magic.
Oh, relax.
Sorry, but I'm not looking to hire any.
I'm not looking to get hired.
Fine work. Here's your pay. Don't spend it all on me.
And he gives me an insane amount of money for some reason. Who are you?
Never much cared for Windhelm. The place is depressing.
I do not recognize your voice. So
hey there.
I'm a lot happier out here on the deck than I am wandering around in that ruin of a city.
Hello, friend.
Are you an interesting NPC, but that will not talk to me? I do not recognize that voice actor.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Gjallan.
Talk to Captain Gjallan if you're looking to book passage.
I'm not. I'm really not. I'm looking for interesting NPCs, and then that's the guy that will take me places. Alright, so let's take a look at... That was a quick, easy one. That's what we're mainly looking for. I believe we went to Riften next, because that's... Both of these are Riften. I don't remember this one. Maybe we'll do things slightly differently. We'll do whatever that is. Alright, so it's that general direction. Yeah, so like I didn't even do my intro right. So if you're new to the channel, Dozer Roscoe and the Geysermas. If you're new to the series, Hajime Mashti. And if you're a regular, like Mrs. Voice, who had suggested this, specifically the Interesting NPCs mod in the first place. Thank you again, Mrs. Voice. Like Teresa, like Aluin, like Isabella Steele, Kairi Nasai, welcome back, welcome home. Thank you so much for spending time with me. In a weird way, we might actually get through this somewhat faster because I do remember some of the things that we're doing. Where am I going? I lost the... Where did it go? I had the arrow telling me where to go, and then it... Where am I going? Oh my god. Karthwasten. Yes, Karthwasten is where we're going. And Karthwasten is also, I believe, a mining place. And this is where I did talk to another interesting NPC that I stumbled across. Alright, so... Yep. Yep. Miners' Barracks. That's what I was looking for in Dawnstar, because I knew I had been in Miners' Barracks, and I'm facing...
Sarnak mine is open again. How am I supposed to handle all this work?
Where's... Okay, there...
Good to see you.
Excuse me, I'm trying to get
You
to
want
Lash.
something from me?
I'm trying to get to Lash.
Hello, friend.
Your mother, Garal, wants you to have this sword.
So that's it then. Don't come back. Thank you. Here. You honored my mother's task and should be rewarded. Now, I need to be alone. Until next time.
Alright, so I mean...
Please, make yourself at home.
I'm making a lot of money here. Alright.
Good to see you.
Do you have anything else to say?
May your weapons be sharp.
No.
And your prey fresh.
And Belchy Mac over here doesn't have anything to say.
Hello, friend.
Ragnar the Red. And the person we want to talk to is Okapi over here. Okapi's the best.
What do you want? I don't owe you anything, do I?
Yes, pay up. I'm sorry, we've never met. No, but it sounds like you're in need of some gold. That's not something I expected a miner to say. No, but it sounds like you're in need of some gold.
Maybe, but I won't get it slaving in these mines. I need to go to the pits, because the only honest way to earn coin is to gamble for it.
You bet on pit fights?
I did. I aimed to make my fortune on the pits. I lost much coin the first time around, and still owe a sizable debt.
So you decided to earn and pay that coin with hard work. Admirable. You should be borrowing to win that coin back, not slaving in some mine. Gamblers claim to be experts, but still manage to lose it all. You sound like you know your wolves. Maybe I'll follow your wagers. The only thing I bet on is myself. I've yet to lose. Any gambling advice? Yeah, any gambling advice?
What I know applies only to amateurs, but if I learn something worthwhile, I'll be glad to sell it to you.
But glad to sell it to me. That's great. What kind of animals are raised for pit fights?
Wolves, mostly. Sometimes bears. You hear of pit fights where they fight trolls and atronachs, but this is likely made up by skooma fiends. About time. Need something?
Need something? How did you... Is there any mixed animal fighting?
Oh yes. The appetite for such sport is quite, how do you say, voracious. I myself do not like it because it's so unpredictable, although sometimes there's an advantage to be gained by reading the people and not the animals.
How did you get into gambling?
I got my start betting on the pit fights in Crag's Lane Cavern over in the Rift. As a young feline traveling with the caravans, I've always had a good nose for wolves. I could tell the difference between a wolf that hungers for a fight and one that merely growls in fear. I simply applied that knowledge to the pits. Be gone.
I don't know why she keeps kicking me out of conversation. How do you accumulate your debt? Do you ever wonder if pit fighting is immoral? What made you come to Karthwasten?
Why? Are there fools who actually pity these wretched beasts?
They mean well. There are, and totally unbearable. We have a responsibility as greater beings not to abuse our power.
Look, I'm not saying what happens in the pit isn't squeamish. You see a wolf tear into another's throat and it's hard sometimes to keep your lunch. But in the end, there's a difference between hurt and pain.
Why do you think animals don't feel pain?
To an ignorant observer, the fighting pits are ruthless, cruel. They will see things that make them want to claw their eyes out and donate the pieces to an alchemist. This is because they think the wolf feels. It was explained to me when I was young, learning to hunt, that to feel pain is a different thing from being hurt.
How so?
Simple. When you touch a stove, your hand leaps back, but it's only when your mind registers what happened that you feel pain. This is what separates us from the animals. It's why I have more in common with a Nord than a saber cat, even if we both purr. When the animals fight, they will get hurt and they will die. They won't feel pain. They aren't capable of understanding it.
So I'd said previously, first time I went through this conversation, that I feel like that is a justification that people use for this type of stuff. One I don't agree with at all. But in the context of a fictional character talking about fictional pit fights, I understand what she's saying. But yeah, I don't in any way, shape, or form condone or think it's okay for somebody to do that type of stuff. I'm actually very, very much against that. Gambling tips you learn from the caravan.
There are many things to watch for. For instance, people often mistake the bristling hair and bared fangs for aggression, when it's nothing more than a bluff. They watch the eyes, when the legs are what show the beast's intent. It's only when a wolf enters a crouch that it's truly prepared to fight.
How did you accumulate your debt?
Simple. When I first began betting in the pits, I fell victim to 3 traps.
What are the 3 traps you fell victim to?
The first trap is the poison of winning, more addictive than any skooma. And when you're lucky, it comes so easy you don't value the money. So you spend it. Only when the ruck runs dry, there's no coin left to cover your bets. So you start to borrow money so you can win it all back. This is the second trap. But Nocturnal has already cursed you. Desperate, you start increasing your bets, soon you're gambling with numbers that you can no longer count. This is the third and final trap. Once you raise the stakes, you can never go back, because it's no longer about the coin. I probably won 10 times as many bets as I lost, but in the end I still lost it all.
What made you come to Karthwasten?
I was going to get a job with the caravans when I'd heard there was a massacre in Karthwasten. Apparently, Ulfric and his army of furless bears came and razed the city to the ground. I felt this raised an opportunity.
I suppose someone has to fill all those dead shoes to assist with recovery. Not much of an opportunity, ask me. Again, understanding this character.
Correct. Even better if they were too busy mourning the dead to notice if Okapi was taking a nap. To think I even dreamt of sleeping in a bed. It was not to be.
Alright, then we gotta go to the... You don't seem to like this job very much.
I shudder at the thought of someone enjoying such tedious work. You'll take a pickaxe and chip rock for 8 straight hours. Compared to that, even smelting is like taking a bath in liquid moon sugar. It also doesn't help that I despise my co-workers.
At least you have another female on the crew. That's enough about the miners. Tell me about the Breton. Tell me about, what about Iman? Tell me about the Nord. Let's go with the female.
Lash? She's the worst of them all. At least the men take breaks. That Swordtooth must have been a slaver in her past life, the way she flogs me with her tongue.
She could flog me with her tongue anytime. How does the Lash treat you?
Badly. The worst part comes when the work is done. I'd hope that with all the dead Nords it would mean beds to spare, but it's quite the opposite. Even though she's a miner like me, I'm the one forced to sleep on the ground. Most nights, I don't sleep, I just pray.
What do you pray for?
I pray a dragon will swoop down and eat the orc bitch. What else would I pray for?
Now you understand why. Like, you probably, when I started this off, I said she's the best, and then she likes betting on animals killing themselves. You're probably like, why is she the best? It was this part that I specifically found amusing when she's talking about the other miners. Tell me about the Breton.
Belkamak? A coward, a pessimist, a whiner, and a forsworn apologist. He is my favorite.
Again, that was great. What about Enmon?
Another selfish one. I question Einethek why his family gets such a large house while the rest of us are wedged into a food barrel. He said such demands were too insensitive given Enmon's daughter was kidnapped. Seems to me that just opened up more space.
Tell me about the Nord, Ragnar.
Ragnar? Just hearing his name bores me. The orc has all but spread her legs for him, but he would rather mine silver. Then again, I'm not sure I blame him. The mines are far less dusty.
See what I'm saying?
Fine.
Alright, so Okapi, despite her flaws, still very entertaining. Alright, let's get out of here. And just keep plodding our way through all these. We are going to now go to Riften in a rare case, we're actually going to return the ring to Savannah because she works in the bunkhouse. Why was I thinking longhouse and all those other? When I recorded the previous episode, I couldn't think of ventriloquism. But I was totally stumped on that word. I always was going to make my lame, ventriloquism joke because the guy in the boat, his mouth wasn't moving a lot. And I just had a brain fart and couldn't think of ventriloquism. I don't know. Alright. Riften, here we come. So in the bunkhouse, I found two more. Now, it was nighttime. It is still nighttime, so that's actually to our advantage here because everybody's asleep in their beds. So we can get in here, rob the place.
Are you up for hire? Travel with me and I'll pay you.
Alright, we'll... I can't... There's too many of you in my way. Can I get... There we go. First of all, there's this funny little note right here. Sweet Helga, last night was the most wonderful night of my life. The things you showed me, the things we did, I could never have dreamt that it was possible. Who even knew that someone could manipulate their body in that manner while wearing Daedric armor boots? You are a true master of the Debellan arts, my love, a credit to your religion. Perhaps we'll meet again soon, but next time allow me to bring the... Now what's your guess? Allow me to bring the what? Based on everything else I read, what would you guess? Like, the lube, the I don't know. No, whatever you guess, you're wrong, unless you already know what it is. It's the... Allow me to bring the trout. The trout. Allow me to bring... the trout. Apparently I could just have this gold? That's weird. Alright, now we gotta go over here real quick, and boom. Boom. Thank you. Alright, we don't need to go into the basement. We're gonna go upstairs. So I believe that's where Savannah is. Yeah, so there's...
Brilliant! Your skin's as pale as the snow.
Grolka's up here.
Sunlight or something?
Vegeta's up here. Branshi's up here. Ishari, who we've already talked to, is up here. I believe this might also be Nilova. Halu. That might be another interesting
Working at the
NPC?
Riften fishery is tough, but it puts some coin in
because somebody in here talks about her. I can't remember who it was. I think Paragorn. All right. Unagrin, I don't know who that is. Anyway, Savannah, here's your
Sorry about the mess. Keeping this place clean is quite a chore.
Yeah, I know you're very unhappy here.
Thank you. Here, this is for you.
All right, now go back to sleep. Gore, please don't teleport in on me. All right, so then we talked to Amicus.
Helga, how many times do I have to tell you not to wake me? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Still, it's a little rude to rustle someone out of bed for no reason.
So this is perfect based on his character. I apologize if it's proper now that I think about it. Sorry, it was an accident. I tripped on a loose floorboard and fell on you.
I guess accidents do happen. Still, you interrupted something pretty important, at least where I'm concerned. When I sleep, I dream. Really vivid dreams. And when you interrupt them, I can never get them back.
You like how that dude stole his bed as soon as he got a chance? Are you from Riften? Do you ever have trouble sleeping? I want to talk to you about those dreams. This time we'll start here.
I'm from Markarth, actually. Had to move out here after I got into a little argument with Cosimo. He thinks I stole something from his museum. I asked him if he had proof, and he said mercenaries don't require any. So here I am.
Do you ever have trouble sleeping?
Oh, God, I can't imagine anything worse than that. Although I do have trouble staying asleep, as you have so aptly demonstrated. It's not just random travelers, though. It's the arguments downstairs, the snoring upstairs, and whatever's going on in Helga's room.
Helga's business is her own. Yes, I imagine it gets quite noisy in this place. Oh, you're a light sleeper? Oh, that was me again. I was in Helga's bedroom. Then I saw a mouse.
Well, that would explain the high-pitched scream. I thought it was some kind of animal at first. But to be fair, it's her place. I should just move to a quieter town like Iverstead. It'll be harder on my coin purse, but I'll manage.
And then that's it. He's like, I'm out. See ya.
Yes?
And then it's like, visit him in Iverstead. Super weird, right? Okay, so I want to talk to you about these dreams of yours.
Sure. I'm up now, so I might as well.
Do you ever know you're dreaming? Can you control them? I can kind of control mine, mainly when I'm falling asleep and like a dream starts, but I'm not completely asleep. Does that make any sense? It might not make any sense.
Most of the time, I have no idea, which is good. I'd imagine it'd be harder to enjoy my dreams if I knew they weren't real. Funny you should ask, though. There was one time I had the same dream twice, and sure enough, the illusion was broken.
What sort of dreams do you have?
Well, the other day I dreamt I was the Dragonborn, and the day before that I dreamt I was a dragon. It's kind of hard to take real life seriously anymore. All I think about is going back to bed.
That sounds amazing. I tend to forget my dreams. Sounds like an addiction, no different than skooma. Dreams can tell you about yourself. You obviously yearn for power. You have to eat and live if you want to sleep.
I have a surprisingly small appetite. It's probably because I don't expend all that much energy. As for how I get my food, well, let's just say my fingers do the work for me.
What does that mean? When did these dreaming sessions start?
As long as I can remember. At first, I didn't really take them too seriously. I worked a lot of long hours, so I was always worried about waking up. And now that I barely work, I sleep more, and more importantly, I have time to think about what I experienced.
I want to go back to my earlier questions.
All right.
And that's it. Yeah, he's going to go to Iverstead.
Safe travels.
Which is weird. All right, we're now going to talk to Paragorn.
Oh, hello there. How are you?
He is so sweet. That depends on whether you're willing to loan me some money. I'm not asking for money. Fantastic. Thanks for asking. Terrible. I have this urge to just punch whatever's in front of me. I'm suffering from bone-break fever and highly contagious. I got witch's pox and I need to blow my nose. Quick, lend me your tunic. I'm fine. You? Fantastic. Thanks for
You
asking.
seem excited. Tell Svan I'll have whatever you're having. Maybe it'll help me forget how many leeks I picked for Advil today. In any case, is there anything I can help you with?
I want to ask you some questions.
Well, that's something that doesn't happen every day. You want to ask me questions? I'm just a farmhand. On the list of important folks in this town, I'm about as low in common as a borrowed robe. So, I don't know who you think I am, stranger, but I'm not at all interesting. You, on the other hand, I bet you've gone on all sorts of adventures.
Now, I love this. It does list things that I've done. I imagine this list would be much longer if I've done more vanilla. So, I'm just going to say that I was at Helgen when dragons attacked.
Whoa. And you survived? Is it true that Elduin has 3 heads and 12 eyes, and that he eats Bretons but only the ugly ones? And that his scales are pink? Oh, never mind. You don't have to answer that. Even I realize how silly that sounds. Still, I never thought someone like you would choose me as a conversation partner.
I enjoy conversing with everyday people. There's always something to learn. If my conversation partners were limited to my peers, I'd be a mute. I feel like either one of those is kind of rude to a certain extent, so I'm just going to go with this one, I guess.
Alright, then ask your questions, and I'll try my best to impart what little wisdom I have. Although I'd still rather talk about you.
Does Advent offer you room and board? How's your life? How's life on the farm working out for you? Okay, fine. Is there anything you want to ask me? Or would else even allow to be farmers?
You sound like Valander. He never stops with the Green Pact and all this other religious nonsense. So I can't pick a cabbage from the garden, but if a Nord picks that same cabbage and sells it to me to eat, it's okay. The whole concept seems a little silly to me. If you're not going to eat vegetables, that's one thing, but don't look down on me for harvesting crops when there's plenty of green on your plate.
I agree. Have you ever thought about visiting Valenwood?
I have. For a long time, that was all I thought about. And it wasn't just to shut Valander up. I really wanted to know about my heritage, my home. So every day, I'd skip a meal or pick a few more potatoes, and eventually saved enough to make the trip. I had everything packed. All that was left was to say goodbye. I thanked Advil and Nayara for having me, and all my friends at the bunkhouse. On my way to Solitude, I made a stop in Morthal. That's where I met this tavern maid.
What about her made you change your mind?
She was the perfect embodiment of a Nord woman. Tall, pretty, and fair of skin. Only there was something strange about the way she spoke. She called skeevers cave rats, Fulmer goblins, and constantly complained about the cold. I was more of a Nord than she was. And that's when I realized I didn't need to travel halfway across Tamriel to find my home. I was already here.
Right? He's great, isn't he? Does Advil offer you room and board?
No, but I don't mind. Helga's bunkhouse isn't too expensive, the beds are cozy enough, and Niluva is easy on the eyes.
Ah.
I know Southern thinks all of Mundus revolves around Helga, and Svanna has her share of suitors, but I don't know. Neither of them strike my fancy. At least, not the way Niluva does. To be honest, I love everything about the bunkhouse, except maybe Valander.
Niluva, the skooma addict? Ah, Sadrin, he will never climb those verdant hills. Why don't you like Valandor? I can kill Valandor, then the bunkhouse will be perfect. Niluva, who's that?
You haven't met her? She's a Dunmer woman with eyes like ebony, and a voice as smooth as the surface of Lake Honridge.
Alright, so we have to go back in to get...
No, but I know... At least, not the way Niluva does. To be honest, I love everything about the bunkhouse, except maybe Valen. Yes, he is quite a character. It's funny how he insists on staying at Helga's when he clearly can afford better. No, but I know Southern... At least, not the way Niluva does.
Why don't you like Valandor?
I love... He's not a bad person or anything. It's just the way he's always going on about Valenwood. It makes me feel like such an outsider. I may be Bosmer by blood, but I was born and raised here, and someday I'll die here too. I shouldn't have to be ashamed of that.
How did you make you feel ashamed?
I've told Valandor many times that I've never been outside of Skyrim, but he'll still ask me what my favorite memories of our homeland are. Whenever I mention how beautiful the Fall Forest is, he'll tell me how the leaves on Sylvanar turn with twice the color. Or he and Ungrian will share stories about the way the cities rumble under your feet, or how a crop of new aromas bloom with each spring. And none of it means anything to me. When I sit at that table, I can't help but feel excluded, as if I have to apologize for who I am.
I'm sure he means no harm, he just misses Valenwood. If Valenwood was so great, he never would have left. Valandor is a cruel elf and should be thrown in jail for his callousness. You should be ashamed of yourself. The way you spit on your ancestors. Seriously, if I just let me kill the guy, problem solved.
Wait.
I know. I don't mean to say he doesn't like me. It's much, much worse. He pities me.
If he wasn't a Black Briar, I'd march right over to the jail and...
Does Advent offer...
No, but I know Southern thing. At least, not the way Niluva does. To be honest, I love everything about the bunkhouse.
I can kill Valandor.
Oh, no, I don't want him dead. He hasn't broken any laws.
Oh, God. So then the funny thing is, right, so you could go back in.
No, but I know Southern things. At least, not the way Niluva does.
And then you could choose this one again.
He's not about... I may be Bosmer by blood. I've told... Whenever I mention how beautiful... Or he... And none of it means anything to me.
Alright, and then you can go down and say, seriously, just let me kill the guy.
Excluded. It must be awfully convenient to go through life just murdering the people you don't like.
It is.
But I'm thankful to have met Valander. Even the folks you don't get along with can teach you valuable things about yourself.
Alright. How is life on the farm working out for you?
Good. The climate here in Riften is ideal for the crops we grow. The soil is warm, but not too warm where the tubers revert to leaves. In some places the ground is so hard you need a shovel to harvest things. Here you can pull out the leeks by the stems. The potatoes require a little bit more care, so as not to damage them. You have to sort of ease the stalk out of the ground, and then claw around the dirt. It's still pretty easy compared to the farm work up north. I've got a bad back though, and I have to spend half my earnings over at Elgrim's Elixirs. And the rest I spend on food, shelter, and maybe the occasional bottle of mead. I've got no complaints though. If I had money, I'm not sure what to spend it on.
More coin, more problems. Mainly the problem of unlimited happiness. Farming is honorable work. A simple life is best. Having riches makes you fear for losing it. If you spend your whole life in a cave, you'll never know the sun's warmth. I mean, I picked this one the first time. I don't know. This is a tough one again for me.
I don't know about honorable. At least I don't work the fields out of some sense of duty or for someone else's admiration. I do it so I won't go hungry. Sometimes it happens anyway.
You ever consider working for the Snowshots?
Of course. Merryfair Farm can't afford to hire another hand, while the Snowshots have enough to pay a dozen farmers and a score of guards. Only the Snowshots only hire up the Nords. True sons of Skyrim, basically. And maybe things might be different under Asgeir, but I don't have my fingers crossed. He's pretty much a mirror of his father. They'd never hire me, even though I'm pretty sure they need me.
Are there a lot of contract farmers like yourself?
A lot of travelers come by and help out, but ever since Hagravi left about 5 years ago, there hasn't been another steady farmhand since. Volwolf will never admit it though. I've always said when they bury him, they're going to need 3 coffins. One for him, one for his pride, and one for that cauldron he calls a belly.
Okay. Ask me anything you want.
Sure. For starters, what's your favorite thing to eat in Skyrim?
My wife. So this kind of covers the entire thing. I went with this sweet tooth because I do have a sweet tooth.
You've got a sweet tooth then. That's not very healthy. But I suppose most people nowadays just eat what they want and drink a potion afterward. If you can afford it, who am I to judge?
She said she'll have it soon.
Is that all?
No, I got more.
So
I think.
Be able to pay us.
Okay, how about
Why do you
this?
insist on defending
What do you think
All
is
she
the
does
most
with her
fearsome
money is
beast in
spend it on that
Skyrim?
dark elf garbage.
Just be
Mortals,
patient,
the most
Anne.
dangerous
She'll
beast,
have
the
it,
most
I
challenging
promise.
game. If nothing else, bears are the most annoying. Spiders are all other answers are invalid. Probably mammoths. The obvious answer. It's the obvious answer, but dragons. Nope. This is the obvious answer.
Ooh, I wouldn't touch that subject with a pair of enchanted gloves. Riften is full of happy newlyweds, and the priests don't take kindly to negativity. Well, at least until Jade joined the temple. They say every marriage she blesses is doomed to fall apart.
Poor Jade. Anything else?
No, that's it. I guess I can't even ask interesting questions.
Yeah, I really like him a lot.
Goodbye.
Now, unfortunately, everybody woke up during that, so now that I can't just grab whoever else. Like I wanted.
Well met.
I wanted to try to talk to his girlfriend, and I don't know where his girlfriend or the girl that he likes. I don't know where she went. So. When I said my spouse, I was referring to Duraz in the game, and I did mean it as a compliment, actually, not as a negative, because Duraz is fearsome.
I'm off work at the Blackbriar Meadery. I'll be back there in the morning.
Alright, so this is Unagrin. That was
Travel safe.
One of the guys he was talking about. Now, see, somebody else just went outside. And...
Oh, look at the colors.
Yeah, I got some nice colors.
Oh, it's you. Come to extort more from me?
Maybe. Why, you got...
Sorry about the mess.
If you're looking for a bed,
This
is the wrong place.
What is this place?
This heap of matchsticks is what everyone calls Haelga's bunkhouse. Can you stay here? No. The bunkhouse is for the working man, not some sort of luxury inn for tourists.
You the only one that works at the bunkhouse?
Of course not.
You expect me to take care of it by myself? My niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out of the clouds. She's been with me ever since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap.
Alright, I'm asking. I don't know why that's a question to ask everybody.
I don't know why I bother.
The bunkhouse isn't an inn.
Alright, what's up, traveler?
Are you up for hire? Travel with me and I'll pay you.
Sure.
Roads are too dangerous for a peddler like me nowadays. I need muscle on my side.
Alright.
What's your price?
Where are you going? 500.
Alright, that seems reasonable. I give you 100 up front. The rest is due at the end of our journey.
Where are we going?
I'm glad I have you as my ward. Whenever you are ready, let us move.
Where are we going? Where are we going? Did he... Old Holdren Inn. Okay. I don't even remember if I've been there. Alright, so where did... I wasn't able to grab her because I don't know where she goes. It's not her, right? That's not who he's talking about?
We're one of the same kind, you and I. I'm glad to have met you.
If it's horses you want, you'll want to speak to Hofgear.
Rare trinkets, the finest oddities from Morrowind.
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
Yeah, I have no idea where she goes during the day. So I can grab the interesting
if
NPCs.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
At night. What are you doing here?
Looking for work? I need someone to deliver a message to Sibby Blackbriar.
What sort of message?
Well, I recently approached Sibby Blackbriar about buying Frost, one of the finest breeding horses in Skyrim. He agreed to sell. I paid Sibby half the cost.
Alright, I don't know.
That's a real shame. You would have fit the bill nicely.
Yeah. What's your problem?
What? Why did it... What did... Yeah. Okay. Anybody in here? Yeah, I don't know where she goes. She was a bald Dunmer. That's all I know, but I don't know where she goes during the day. Yeah, I did the whole horse thing with my son, so that was again me getting confused because I'm playing
My skill in
I'm playing two characters, one with my son, one without my son. Okay, I really don't know where she goes during the day. Is she out on the dock somewhere?
Working at the Riften Fishery is tough.
It's funny because I had found the website. I used the list that Mrs. Foyce gave me of the people in Riften. Thank you again. And I found the website that lists who's in Riften and where they should be. That's how that I knew that they would be in the bunkhouse. But
I could have left it behind. I could have put it back where it came from.
I didn't see where they would be during the... I didn't memorize where they'd be during the day. Can we go in the fishery? Is there people in the fishery? I'm facing the wall again. Anybody in the fishery? Yeah, there are people in the fishery. Swims in deep water. I'd like to improve my fishing skills. Can you teach me a few things?
Of course.
Oh, okay. An entire list of fish to catch, but I only just learned how to fish.
That doesn't change anything.
Okay, should I cook them for you while I'm at it? Wait, am I getting more quests? What is happening? I'll do my best, no promises.
Of course.
Okay. That's Vegeta. Is anybody... Alright, I don't know. We'll have to grab her some other time, I guess. I have no idea where she went. So we are going to...
Yes? I'm waiting. Until next time.
You're waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for. Alright, let's take a look and see. Oh my god. Alright, so we're... Yeah, we might as well drop him off. And then... My god. We're going to go to the barrow. But we'll leave that off for now. So where is this dude going? He's going this way. That's not where the map is. Have I been here before? Yes. So we'll fast travel with him and then drop him off. And again, I said it earlier, I just must not be earning XP because it does not look like my XP is increasing at all. This episode is also not sponsored by, how about this one? This one's going to be wild. The Reading Draft Blueberry Birch. Premium reserve soda, handcrafted since 1921. Blueberry Birch. I actually am really enjoying it just because it's different. It's like...
Ah, a visitor. Old Rolden Inn has hundreds of years of history, friend.
Now that we're here, I suppose this is the end of our bargain. I thank you for having my back. Like I promised, here's the rest of your payment.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do these, because...
Alright, I bid you farewell then.
And technically that was back up to 11 people when I had him with me, because it's just easy money. Alright,
Wow, look at all the colors.
I have been here before, so...
This is the old Rolden Inn. Clean beds and strong drink.
You're awfully mature for your age?
Watch your tongue, stranger. We don't take back talk in this inn.
Where can I learn about magic?
Magic? That's dangerous. You want to learn that? Go to that college in Winterhold. They teach that stuff there. Hey, I know. The Jarl's wizard could teach you. He's lots closer.
Alright.
Until next time.
Apparently I've talked to him and I don't even remember. And there's nobody else in here to talk to, so... This isn't one of the ones that has like a downstairs now. Okay, so let's...
It's nice to be back in a friendly spot, huh?
That's, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing a quest for her. Was the Raven of... Oh god, Raven Anvil? Alright, so let's hit the wrong button for the millionth time and put the barrel on, and that's where we're going to head to next, so we can try to get a little bit of action in here. But the problem is, if I remember correctly, we've not actually been to the barrow. So we're going to have to go to Dawnstar again, which we've already been to this episode, because again, even with having re-recorded, I somehow still managed to fail miserably at doing things in a order that makes more sense than what I had done previously. Alright. No, I'm like, wait a minute, there's more Kashyyyts here than there
The road
are.
makes this one weary. A peaceful greeting to you. Yeah. Bandits harass the caravans at every step, but Khajiit so many refuse to talk to us. They call us thieves and smugglers.
No, you guys are not thieves and smugglers. You're the best. Who are you? Wait, you're
Yes? Hi there.
Where are your parents, kid?
They're dead.
Did
My
you
pa
kill
was a
them?
sailor. Took me with him on his last trip. After he got sick, they put us off here and left without us. He died a few days later. I've tried to make do since then, but it's been hard. Real hard.
Do you need a jacket? What's the hurry?
I'm running food and supplies to the miners. Don't pay much, but they let me sleep by the fire in the inn most nights.
Aw, I can't adopt you because
I'm late. Gotta run.
I don't have any room. I don't have any room left. Yeah, so we're gonna have to run to the barrow. And then I know it might seem somewhat early. We're gonna probably wrap the episode up once we get there. Irene.
Yes, I haven't got all day.
I wasn't born in
Yes,
Skyrim.
yes, I haven't got
But
all
when
day.
I served
I don't
in
want
the
to talk to
Legion,
either
this
one of you.
land became my home.
Apparently. Yeah, once we get to the barrow, we might go in a little bit, and then we'll wrap this episode up. We haven't had any problems this time. Hooray, hooray. No freezes, no crashes. The freezes are the worst. If you know a way to cleanly, if you even understand what I mean by saying that, if you know a way to like cleanly get out of a freeze, and crashes, no problem. It just goes to desktop and just load that bad boy back up, and pause it, load it back up, and I'm back in. You know, freeze. I have to get whatever game I'm playing closed. So in this case, obviously, you know, Skyrim. I had to get Skyrim to close. Trying to see if those are treasure chests or just crates. I think they're just crates. So then once you get it to close, normally like I try to get the task manager, and then I could just shut down the app, but that wasn't happening. So I was able to get to my bottom bar, and I was able to right click on Skyrim and tell it to close like a million times. It was just like, nah, we're not closing, sorry Charlie. So I was like, okay, that's not working. So then sometimes if I hit the Windows key on the keyboard, that will allow me to get into some things, but it just Skyrim just wouldn't close. It just wouldn't close, and it was up over everything, frozen, and I couldn't make it go away. It just would not go away. So if you actually see where I ended the previous episode, as I hit the wrong buttons again, was save 29. And where am I? Exactly where I am now. So I've, for all intents and purposes, completely redid this episode. Yeah. For some reason we're coming up like from behind. Which is fine. I don't even remember why we're coming here at all.
Out with it, fool.
Huh? Listen, Pinhead, I'm not talking to you. Alright, so we're here for something, don't remember what, but we will wrap it up here. And remember, always wrap it up, especially if it's your first date. With all that being said, this has been the Skyrim modded series. If interesting, immersive, and forgotten. I am Loki the Mad Titan. Hooray, hooray, hooray. No problems today. I feel like that shopkeeper from Enderall.
How deep is this cave?
That tries to rhyme all the time, and I don't mean to do it. Thank you so very much for watching. Subscribe if you have not. I haven't covered that. Subscribe, or I will send Ice Race to attack your butthole. Have a good night. See ya.